Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson could be lining up to fight one another in the very near future, possibly as early as December, based off what was said by Bob Arum of Top Rank. And it is good news for that fight and could be good news for boxing all around. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where two of the best fighters in the world, Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, looks like these guys could be meeting up a lot sooner than I had expected, seeing as news has come out about Shakur Stevenson's relationship with Top Rank and the fact that after his next fight takes place, Shakur Stevenson will be a free agent. And that will put him in the same position as another very, very good fighter who just signed with Matchroom, Jaron Boots Ennis. And Shakur Stevenson, if he, as a 135-pound champion, would then be a champion in the same division, presumably, that Gervonta Davis is a champion in, as long as Gervonta Davis gets past his next fight, which is Frank Martin. And also Shakur Stevenson gets past his next fight, who I don't know who that is as of yet. We just know that he has a date, I do believe in July. Now, look, before I get into more of that, I got to say thank you to everybody that supports the channel. Thank you to everybody specifically in the super thanks and the super chats. And if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, share the video, all that good stuff. But thank you to Matty O, thank you to Barbara D, thank you to the usual crew. It really means a lot, man. And thank you to the sponsors on the live streams that we do. But let's move on here, man, because I'm excited about this because Shakur Stevenson is going to either be one of two places. He's either going to be with Matchroom or he's going to sign or he's going to do fight deals with the PBC. Now, there's some headache, and as a result, should be available to fight Gervonta Davis. If Shakur Stevenson really wants to fight Gervonta Davis and by beating him, really blow his name through the roof, the choice is obvious about what to do. You have his manager, James Prince, contact Al Heyman and see, about setting up fight dates and putting Shakur Stevenson as one of the guys over there in the PBC. And I think that would be something that I would absolutely love, because to me, Shakur Stevenson is one of the best fighters in boxing. And I say the same thing about fighters like Jaron Ennis, but with Shakur Stevenson has it not only when you look at him in the ring, because that's what Jaron Ennis has with me when I look him in the ring. I think, man, is there anybody better than this guy? With Shakur Stevenson, I feel like the same way, close to the same way, even though, not quite as spectacular as Jaron Ennis, right? But you add to Shakur Stevenson, and by that I mean Jaron Ennis has power to really stop you in your tracks. Shakur Stevenson gets knockouts, but it's just such a skilled fighter. However, he's a 3-division champion. He's a former unified champion. And he deserves that type of credit that I don't think a lot of people give him, because so many people are stuck in the back and forth that goes on between fighters' camps. Shakur Stevenson, though, by going to there, would be able to fight Gervonta Davis, who has in the past said that he was interested in fighting Shakur Stevenson. And that is a fight that as long as it's something where the deal can be worked out. And I'm telling you, I went through a contract, a term sheet that was sent from one camp to another camp just recently. And now I have to, after having read that travesty of an agreement, I have to say, I'm not going to say the money can be worked out. The deal can be worked out, where all of the different aspects necessary and the things that you have to take into consideration to make a fight, as long as those all get done and can be taken care of, then this is a really, really fantastic fight, not only for fight fans, but the fighters in the ring. If the fighters in the ring just really, really want to fight and they really enjoy fighting and they enjoy, a battle in the ring, it'd be an absolutely spectacular fight for them as well. And, that's an aspect of it that doesn't get talked about a lot, like the actual fun of the fighters doing what the fighters are doing and the ability to show their skills against somebody that is very evenly matched. I think this will be the first time that Gervonta Davis is in there with somebody whose skill level is where his skill level is, and maybe a little bit higher. And Shakur Stevenson, this is going to be the first time that he's been in the ring where somebody's athleticism is higher than his, and the skill is right there with his. I think it's just a spectacular setup for both of them and to test their skills. And it could very well be something that winds up being like a trilogy type of fight. I don't think that there's any real way that fight winds up being a quote unquote boring fight, because Gervonta Davis is going to be going to him, and he's going to try to make Shakur Stevenson go towards him as well. I do not see Shakur Stevenson just jumping up on a bike and running for the hills. I truly do accept his explanation for why he wouldn't engage with Edwin De Los Santos and why he just resorted to just basically beating him with one hand, jabbing, staying there when he needed to, getting away from any punch that he threw with very, very, cat-like reflexes that Shakur Stevenson has. But with Gervonta Davis, I think that fight is just going to be something that is going to be very, very good. It's going to be a big fight for boxing fans as long as Shakur does what is necessary. Now, I wouldn't be right if I didn't point out the fact that it may not go that way. If he doesn't re-sign with Top Rank and doesn't do business with Top Rank, which very well could happen, he could wind up going to Matchroom. And the likelihood of him going to Matchroom, I actually think, is pretty high. And the reason that I say that is because his manager, James Prince, to my knowledge, doesn't have a working relationship with Al Heyman and the PBC. And seeing as Floyd Mayweather Jr. was a person that founded the PBC after Floyd Mayweather himself broke from James Prince as a manager and hired Al Heyman in place of James Prince. And they had a lot of falling out, a lot of back and forth and kind of things said about each other in the media some years ago. I don't know if it was a lot. I just know that it was noticeable. People knew what was going on. Bob Arum commented on it, that may affect his decision, right? And affect the ability for him to get over there, because he's got a very powerful manager and an influential manager in James Prince. So at the end of the day, though, I think that this fight could very well happen, and I think that it would be spectacular if it did happen. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.